That's just another element of like we were talking about before with the routes that you can go down. That's why I'm on that side way more than going back to more primitive COD. There's some elements of that I do think should stick, but things like that where it really impacts the game, that is so cool to me because of all the strategy and thought process that actually goes into that. Because there could be teams that made huge strides just because two players swapped their specialists. I'm sure you've seen too a little bit of the talks with FaZe and just with money in general. Like that's a concern right now with some of these teams because how much money are they really willing to spend on these players to keep them? I'm sure people maybe by this point have heard that about FaZe and the speculation of that team not sticking together, which to me is crazy. Welcome everybody to episode number 230 of the COD Casuals podcast. We're your host, Mike.
I'm Justin.
Justin, how are we doing, bro?
Well, I mean, after what just happened, better now. But we're recording late at night. Well, not that late, but later than we normally do.
Yeah, and of course, I'm like, I get out of work. I'm like, again, later than we normally do. We got stuff to do afterwards, and my freaking mic is giving me problems. I don't know. Dude, sometimes technology like that just absolutely pisses me off. I don't do
Yeah.
anything different. I don't mess with it at all. And then the like one time, I'm like, all right, let's just go bang this out. That's when God is over here, starts playing with me.
Yeah.
You know, pissing me off.
Yeah.
What do you do though? But you had a good week though, man.
Yeah. It's hump day, so
Yes.
we're halfway through the week. The weather has kind of been ass a bit. It's been raining
Let's
a
talk
lot.
about the weather, bro.
Yeah. But
It
I
has
mean, other than that, it's been pretty good.
hell yeah. Hasn't
So
been too bad. Yeah, I'm hoping that we get out of this humidity because that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. It's
yeah.
like at least by me, it was kind of gray and rainy all day, but it was so humid, you
Mhm.
know. So I tell you, I decided to upgrade my bed, so I'm getting a bigger bed,
Mhm.
and I got like the whole frame over here that I got to deal with at some point when I get my new mattress and everything, bro.
Mhm.
I was carrying that up my stairs here. The amount of sweat.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of people that passed by me. One guy was like, "You all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, bro."
Yeah.
Like, I was I was on death's door. It was like it was gonna be a 3 shower a day type of day.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean?
The
Like,
humidity just kills. I was
yeah,
I had to go into the city for work one day, and I had to take the train,
yeah,
and it was just like straight from the movies. Like I walked over to the station like already sweating,
right, right.
and then I'm standing in the tunnel, and it's just so hot, like
Oh,
hot and humid. And I mean, people are you're all packed, so it doesn't really matter. But like, I could tell people are looking. They're like, "Yo, are you good, dude?" I'm like, "No, I'm literally standing there. I'm not even kidding. Just drip,
yeah,
drip,
yeah.
drip." And I'm like, I'm dripping on the tray.
You just got a puddle around you.
No, I'm not even joking. Yeah, I do have a puddle around me, and I'm just
Yeah,
like, I'm trying to look up so I'm not dripping, but you can just see it like coming down my face and my neck. So I start
yeah.
looking down, and then you just see sweat drops.
You see a whole sweat ring around you. You're like,
Dude,
"Holy shit, dude."
it sucked.
Yeah. Nah, bro, you run hot though. You always have,
Yeah, I
you
always run
know?
hot.
Yeah,
It's
this is
just
how you are,
yeah.
you know? I get that sometimes too though. Like I remember back when we play ultimate frisbee, and stuff,
Mhm.
and I'd be out running and just in general, if I'm out doing like any physical activity, bro, my face gets so red.
Mhm.
Like I may not even be gassed that bad, but it looks like I'm about to die, Like
Yeah.
I have a face of I'm gonna pass out and I'm just like, no, dude, I'm good. Trust me,
Yeah.
you know.
I
But
literally need a towel to like just wipe myself off.
yeah. And you can't go into the office sleeveless.
No, yeah, literally.
You're
Hey,
gonna be
even
all
if I go sleeveless, I like my shoulders sweat.
mm, yeah, bro. Now that's what's like the worst about this again, because you just have to like time how you're gonna be outside or like when you're gonna be doing your showers and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I hate having to be, thinking about it or like, it was before work, so it was like 11:30 and I had already showered. I'm like, fuck, I can't go to work like this.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be sitting and then it's gonna be air conditioned and my shirt and everything's gonna be sticky,
Mhm.
forget about it, you know. Um, but man, I gotta tell you this before we get into what we're talking about, because this is kind of a little bit of it. So I went and bought Call of Duty World at War, right?
Mhm.
We've talked about this and like, nostalgia and gaming and everything's playing a big role. I've definitely fallen victim to this for sure. But I don't really care because it's not like I'm spending $60 on these games. I
Mhm.
bought World at War for $8, which is a good deal.
Mhm.
And bro, I loaded up onto the multiplayer. Man, there okay, first off, I don't know how I did it back in the
Yeah.
day. I don't know how I did it, but after playing multiplayer World at War for the first time in over a decade, dude, you cannot argue that Call of Duty today is, harder than it is back. Bro, COD back then,
Yeah.
how did we do it, bro? It's so hard.
Yeah.
There is, like, no aim assist
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I was shooting wind,
Oh,
brother. I
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah. You meant yeah. You mean it's easier now with the aim assist?
Oh, yes, yeah,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
mistake,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, our thumbs were just steadier. I
Dude,
swear,
do
like the I think we'd be again like we used to play the old games. If we went back and like I got a couple matches in, we'd be fine. But the games now they do aim for you. Like it makes you the games make you think you're a lot better than you actually are.
They 100% do because I was going into that, game of World at War being like, "Oh, yeah, I played this so many" like, I checked on there, I had 20 days. I'm like, "Oh,
Hmm.
dude, like, yeah, I put in the time, this'll come back to me." Oh, man. The first couple of maps I played, bro, double negative,
Hmm.
just, like, absolutely losing it. I'm throwing nades, they're not going anywhere. They, like,
Yeah,
fall right in front of your feet,
yeah.
and I'm just shooting circles around everybody. It was such a bad
The,
experience, but
the hit
but I
reg
will
is different too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But you know what I will say? That, that game gives me more than I get from, like, the CODs now, because now when we play the new COD, like, when Black Ops 7 plays or when it comes out, we're gonna be okay on it, you know? Like, first
yeah.
couple matches, we won't be frying, but we'll do okay. That game, when I played that, oh, it pissed me off so much. I was like, "I have to get better at this." Like,
Hmm.
I need to improve because this
Yeah.
says to me that I'm actually trash.
Hmm.
Like, I should be way better on this game than I actually am. Because again, the new CODs, they lie to you big time.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's COD used to be different every year until 2019.
Yeah.
2019 was when we've been playing sort of like the same ish COD. It's the same style. Uh, but back in the day, every year new COD came out and it was actually different.
Yeah.
That's probably why we struggled so much with Cold War in the beginning because that was the most different COD out of like all the other ones.
Well, and especially too when it came in, right? Because we just came out of MW 2019, which
Yeah.
was already such a shakeup from Black Ops 4.
Hmm.
Because you and I were just grinding that even during the MW 2019 season, we were still playing it a ton. Um, but yeah, when Cold War came, I distinctly remember that we were questioning everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like we thought, I mean, because we were terrible at it,
Yeah. We were
you
not
know?
good for a while.
Yeah. And that was the thing. It wasn't like we were bad for a couple of matches. It was like,
No. Yeah.
I want to say it was almost like weeks we were assing
Yeah.
it.
It
Yeah.
was bad. Yeah.
We start questioning everything. We're like,
Yeah.
well, maybe it's time to hang it up. Like, I don't know if it's gonna be ideal, but yeah, man, going and playing that, playing World at War, it definitely checks you, like a
Hmm.
reality check, being like, oh yeah, man, you used to be able to play this,
Hmm.
but they've become so much softer over the years.
Yeah.
So I need to,
Well,
I don't know, I need to put more time into it.
if you go back and play those games and you come back to these ones, it's just it feels easier to aim. Which means if you can aim back then, you're much better now.
Well,
Mm.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, because when I went back and played, when I played well, Black Ops 6 here, I was feeling really good on it. Like I
Mhm.
wasn't having any problems, um, especially after doing that. I thought that it would either hurt me or help me a little bit,
Mhm.
just because it's so different. Um, but I'm kind of on the side now where if I actually get good at that game, like playing World at War, or like I want to go and buy MW3 again, to start playing games on there. Um, I'm hoping that it's just gonna help me a bit, and again, like, maybe with my thumbs being a bit more steady, because now you can get away with murder on half
Yeah.
these kills.
I mean, it probably helps with centering uh, a lot because I mean now the aim assist just helps you out a ton. But if you can center really quick on those old games and then coming to this, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
So,
So I have a bit more respect for the pros back then who are
mhm,
playing on those games because when you watch like Scump or any of them playing Black Ops 2 or seeing
mhm,
like that, I mean, we were talking about it that tournament that Aches was playing in, like throwback Black
mhm,
Ops 2. Yeah, that's way harder. Like you have an idea of like, oh, it's not that bad if you played
mhm.
it back in the day, but time has passed and it's way different than you actually think it is,
Yeah. I mean, when they went back and played, like even them, they were whiffing,
Right.
whiffing bullets and stuff. Yeah, I mean, Aches wasn't, but that's because he stopped playing and he's still in the Stone Age.
Right.
But that's just like the old argument of yeah, which one was harder? Like it doesn't. You can't compare apples to oranges. Like uh, if you take those guys and put them in the game now, doesn't necessarily mean these games are going to be like easier for them because there's more element to it uh, in terms of just like shooting.
Yeah. Now that's how I feel because this game it is way harder regarding the aim and everything, but it is so much slower, you know.
Yeah.
So you don't have to I find myself not having to think anywhere near as much or
Hmm.
have as quick of reflexes
Yeah. I don't
as
think you have
I
to
do on
react as
Black Ops.
fast.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
You really don't because the
Hmm.
game kind of compared to Black Ops 6, I mean it moves in slow motion,
Hmm.
you know. But I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting thing because I again hadn't played that game in so long, and I didn't
Hmm.
think it would be that bad, and it for sure was that bad.
Yeah.
It,
I mean,
you
it
know,
was. It's just a time period that you're in. We've played through all those eras, and
yeah,
you have nothing to compare it to besides like the last year. Now we can like go and compare it to all the years that we've played and how it's evolved so much.
yeah, and the thing too is I don't have any reference from that game in recent CODs. I know that I think they've remastered a couple of maps over the years. Like I know in World War II, or sorry, in Vanguard, they had Dome.
Hmm.
That map was in there, which that was originally in World at War. But a lot of the other maps and like just guns and the way that game plays, yeah, none of it really has carried over and into the recent CODs, you
Hmm.
know? Like, for example, I was thinking of Fringe, because if you had a chance to play Fringe at all,
No, I've seen
yeah,
gameplay of it. I mean, it looks the same.
yeah, it looks the
Looks
same, and it's like, we've played that map so much back on Black Ops 3. So
yeah,
now when I go and play it on there, I have a reference of what it is. And
yeah,
same
yeah.
for if I went back to Black Ops 3, I'd
Hmm.
feel okay because I know that. A lot of those maps
Hmm.
in World at War, like I loaded on, it was a cliffside,
Hmm.
and I was like sitting on my couch.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit. I was like, man, I haven't seen this map in all those years, but I
Hmm.
still remembered it.
Hmm.
But I mean, all that time has passed, and I was
Hmm.
like, I don't even know how this map really feels anymore. Like, I don't know a lot of the little things about it. But when I play Fringe on Black Ops 6,
Hmm.
I was piecing on that map because of
Yeah.
like we didn't play it that long ago.
Yeah. It's hard to like you can't really compare like your prime self like that year to like every year because your prime self the year before doesn't even know like your future self. That makes sense.
Yeah.
C-
No, I
You
hear
know.
you.
Uh,
Yeah, it's or no, you're gonna say something. You go.
No, I was gonna say that like if you took us in Black Ops 4 and then compare it to us now, that game is just so different, and we would have never known that COD was gonna go the way that it has so far. So like our prime then to our prime now, it's just like you can't even compare it
Yeah, that is true. It's really hard to look that way.
because
We've talked
you're
about
playing the
that
best
before.
like of the best like that year, and you have nothing else. The only thing you compare it to is like previous years, but even previous years it was different.
Right. Right. Yeah, and especially now, I think online on World at War there was like 220 people.
Hmm.
So like who am I even playing now? Like
Hmm.
what quality of people am I playing?
Yeah.
Um Yeah, there is for sure something to be said about, how much you were pushing yourself at that time to be the
Mhm,
best on that game, and like everything that comes with that, just again, the people that you're playing, how you have to adapt at that game,
mhm.
how you experience it. It's so different,
Yeah.
especially now, like being way older. I don't think of that game, World at War, as the same as I did when I was like 12.
Yeah, like, the concept of COD and, like, the strategy of COD, well, I'm not gonna say strategy, but the concept of COD in general hasn't really changed if you've been a good player. Like, you're gonna think thinking of spawns and stuff, even though spawns have changed, or, um, you know, you kill someone and you would expect them to be like, all right, even if spawns are different, they're probably gonna be somewhere around here in every COD.
Right.
Um, but that's like what makes COD unique because you can't technically compare every year evenly because there is no standard. Like technically every year it's different, which is the cool thing. Um, if you look at Warzone though, like you can probably compare Warzone throughout all of its years because it's technically been the same all the years. Uh, Same with like the CS:GO, Val, like League, all those games that haven't changed and all they do is just add operators to make the game like sort of change. You can compare that, but it's because the core mechanics of the game like doesn't change at all.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely a gap that Call of Duty has that other games don't have, to your point, because going back and playing, like if you're a Warzone player now and then you go back and play the first iteration of Warzone,
Hmm.
it's the same thing, you
Yeah.
know. Um and someone could even make that argument too about, from recent CODs. Like if we went back and played Vanguard,
Hmm.
we'd be fine at that game, you
Yeah.
know? And same thing with like probably I would say now MW 2019 probably way better at that game because of our experience with the recent CODs
Hmm.
because we've played them so much.
Hmm.
But that's where Call of Duty playing this game, or World of War, I'm saying, is you can definitely tell there was a change in how those games were made and how they played.
Yeah. Like
Because
every year.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like, I was just gonna say, I wonder, if I go and play the original COD 4,
Hmm.
or play MW2, like, again, all original or MW3, if it'll feel the same, like, the same struggle that I have on World at War, or
Hmm.
I'm gonna be like, "Oh, no, this feels way different, like, I'm more comfortable with this game."
Hmm. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think after like MW 2019, that's when the CODs they've been similar, like very, very similar, like year after year. Before it was every year is different and you could clearly see the difference and feel the difference when you're playing. Nowadays, yeah, you still feel the difference, but I would say at the end of the day, the core mechanics of those CODs have been very, very similar, if not the same.
Yeah, and especially from year to year as to what is in the game and, like, what is adding to the experience.
Hmm.
Um, because you think about what COD 4 did and then how World at War changed that, and then, of course, from World at War to MW2 is, like, an insane jump in
Hmm.
what you can do. Um you don't get that same experience anymore from year to year as to like
Yeah.
new things that they're really adding or trying to change up. You know, someone would say, "Oh yeah, what about omni movement?" Yeah, but you don't have to really utilize that to like a great extent where it's going to totally change the game. If you
Hmm.
do use it a lot, yeah, it is like it is a game changing mechanic, but there's a lot of people who really don't even use it to its fullest,
Hmm.
so it
Yeah.
doesn't have that much of an impact. But
Yeah.
if you go from World at War to playing MW2, or you go from any, boots on the ground COD and then go into jetpacks, it's like, a massive difference in the game. And
Hmm.
you just don't get that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, if like if they got rid of like sliding, diving, and they just kept boots on the ground and omni movement, and tax sprint, it
Hmm.
would be more of an even playing field, I would say, among like every player. But then
Yeah.
you just strip down the mechanics of the game. immediately. But then that really shows, all right, who's really, really good at the game, who's average at the game, and who's just bad. Because at the end of the, like, especially with Omni movement, that should help everyone. Like, the Omni movement doesn't hurt any player because if you just move your thumbstick, it should be fluid like that.
Yeah.
It helps
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, if you have a mechanic like that, I mean, that's where the whole talk about a skill gap comes in, or skill diff, you
Yeah.
know? Having something like that and being able to use it to its, full extent is gonna be the difference between you being a good player and a bad player.
Hmm.
Um, but I would even say too, playing World of War, the thing that I really liked is when I went into the custom classes, and it's so bare bones.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane, you know? I don't even think in that game, I didn't I didn't take that deep of a look, but I don't think there's a perk in that game where you can have multiple attachments. There may be,
Hmm.
but it's only 2, you know? And all the attachments for the guns, dude, it's like a breath of fresh air. You just
Yeah.
see it's like, for the Thompson, it's like red dot, suppressor, and then what else was there? Drum mag,
Hmm.
and I think an ACOG, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Hmm.
This like all the sidearms, like for shotguns or pistols. Yeah, there's nothing. You know,
Yeah.
and I like that because that, like, right in it itself, there's no way that you could really BS any of these guns or make some cheap
Hmm.
gun. It's like, dude, that is what it is. Like, there's plenty of people who can fry with a suppressor on an MP40, or
Hmm.
there's people who prefer a drum mag, or using rapid fire as a perk.
Yeah. Well, and that's when you have a game that bare bones. The skill gap, it's not the weapon or the perks or anything. The skill gap is the knowledge of the game, understanding where players are, and obviously aiming. Like those are the two clear uh advantages to create a bigger skill gap.
Yeah,
Nowadays, I mean, depending how good of a player you are, like I wouldn't even count at like aiming as a big enough skill gap. The huge skill gap now is the movement. Like if you strip away the diving and sliding, and it's just the omni movement and no tax sprint, like none of
mhm,
that. That's pretty bare bones. That'll separate great players from good players
yeah,
because you can't abuse omni movement.
right. No, you
What
can't.
what what people abuse is the diving and the sliding that is incorporated with the omni movement. Omni movement is one of those mechanics where it improves every player no matter what. Like it doesn't make everyone bad.
Right.
Uh, the sliding and diving that definitely can make you bad because people are gonna start diving and then you dive into a wall. Or you think
Which
you
era do you think you prefer? Do you prefer what it used to be, where, like, the skill gap between players was just like the real bare bone things, or do you think now where there's way more avenues that you could go down to become a better player in the game?
I mean, I like the more avenues because it's another skill that you have to learn. Like I always, I can't do the stuff that a lot of people do with the sliding and diving. Like I would say I'm a little better than like the regular COD player at it, but I wouldn't say that's what wins me gunfights. Like I praise myself in putting myself in the right positions and like understanding where players are. That's why like I win gunfights and you know where players are. But if I come up a guy against like a player like Shotzi, a guy that's just a movement king, yeah, there will be times where I'm shooting at the person and the guy just like 180s me somehow.
Right.
And it's because he slides turns so quick before I can even like do anything.
Yeah.
Back in
And
the day,
see,
you can't do that.
that's what I was just gonna say, because it would be great to see someone like him playing and competing on a really old COD, because
Mhm.
what would be the standout thing for someone like him, where he is such a good player, you
Mhm.
know? Where would he shine compared to other people, like, who played, you're saying, we brought up Aches before, like on Black Ops 2.
Mhm.
Like, where would Shotzi shine in that game? Would you see like his movement in that game, even though it's so more limited, would it
Mhm.
still be impressive, or would it be like, oh yeah, his shot is ridiculous too? Like
Yeah.
that's what I'm always curious about because it's
Yeah.
so boiled down in the old CODs to just like two or three things, except like map knowledge, your gun skill, and I mean that's kind of it, and strategy, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's why Aches was so good back then. I mean, he just outsmarted players. Like
Yeah,
using your brain back in the day paid off way more than like movement because you couldn't really do anything. Everyone moved the same.
yeah, yeah. It's weird because when I watch older COD too, there's a part of me that does find it interesting, but it's way less flashy
Yeah.
than COD is now,
Mhm.
you know? And I wonder if there's people who watch COD who they wouldn't find the older COD as interesting, you
Oh
know?
yeah, I don't think they would. I mean, that's why Black Ops 4 was so cool with the operators.
Right.
And then obviously the jetpacks were cool just because you added jetpacks. But then you get a game like Black Ops 4 where, okay, it's boots on the ground, and then you throw these operators in with special abilities. It's still COD, but you add it's I wouldn't say it's uh R like what is it? RNG.
Yeah.
I like randomness, I will say. Uh into the game where you have to think about a lot more in the game than just, all right, position myself here, pick up spawns here. If I kill this person, they're going to be here. That's what would win you games and like obviously winning the gunfight. But then you
Right.
add the randomness of these specialists and, all their weapons that could just completely flip a game, which is
Well,
why competitive players, they hate that. I would say a lot of them hate that because realistically, it's not an even playing field. Like it's just random. That's why a lot of people don't think, Warzone is like super competitive because it's random, you know?
yeah. Now I don't know though, man. I think I the what you were talking about before about different avenues as to what you can use and like to be good at the game. I feel like the specialists in Black Ops 3 and 4, that was that.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just
It definitely
another
was.
thing that you had to be good at, you
Mhm,
know? Like you think about I don't know, think about like Karma or Slacked,
mhm,
in any of their huge moments in BO4, like when using the grab slam.
mhm.
Right? Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it I was gonna say in that game. Um, like that, yeah, it is RN random, I guess, as to when you get it, and like how many kills you get and all
Mhm.
that. Um, but it's really coming down to, okay, once you get that, like people know that you have that operator,
Yeah.
and you have to then think, okay, when am I going to use this? Like,
Mhm.
how am my team going to be able to set it up so that when I don't just jump into the air here, I get shot immediately, and this is worthless,
Yeah, yeah.
Or same
Which
thing with Tempest.
yeah. And I mean those pro players, like they all knew like how long it would take to get a specialist with the amount of
Yeah.
kills. And
Mhm.
obviously if someone gets that, they're calling it out like, hey, you got to watch out this hill. Tempest might be popped. But the randomness that I see in that is like you earn the specialist no matter what. Like you could go 0 and 30 and still get the grab slam, hit the
True.
grab slam, and you change the game for that hill just
Right.
because of that. I think if you add, skill involved where like you have to earn this by going on a kill streak or something like that, then yeah, you can't argue that it's random or anything.
And
Um,
though having the specialist like that was fun as a viewer because there could be a team that would be so down, point wise, but
mhm,
then a specialist move, if it was used properly, it could completely change a game.
yeah.
Like you could totally take over a hill if you have someone who's on Tempest or on, goes and grab slams and gets a three piece. Like you
Mhm,
could immediately change a game just because of that.
yeah.
Um, which obviously I'm sure the players that piss them off. You have a perfect setup and
Mhm.
everything's worked out, and then you just have someone come in and just completely slam and like break
Yeah,
it. Like, bro, what
exactly. And then I think that's why, at least in COD professionals, they don't want any of that. They want it bare bones, stripped down. Like, I'm going to outsmart you and outgun you. Like, no crazy finesse or like anything like that. That's why back in Black Ops 2, you would see so many games just insane blowouts, like on
Right.
hardpoint or capture the flag. Like you get them in a spawn trap, not like nowadays. Like you actually get them in a spawn trap, and you're just capping flags over and over and over again.
Right.
Um, Now you can just finesse. That it's way more flashy, but I will say the games now are, even with the specialists, when you add them, like as a viewer, are way better to watch because they're so fast paced.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, we're still looking at the mini map, trying to understand. Oh, okay, they're spawning here. This was a big play, but then you see a crazy play like Shotzi a chance where he gets all four. Uh, Granted, that was just gun skill, but say he was like diving off like the top or something through a window or
Right.
whatever, kill someone, huge kill on the map.
Yeah.
That's not happening in the older games.
Yeah. Or think about like the specialist being used perfectly and taken up or taken over a game. I can't remember the map, but it was in Black Ops 4 with Optic with Dashy using the Tempest on that
Tempest,
insane
yeah.
comeback. Yeah.
Hmm.
Like that stuff as a viewer is so sick to watch just because you know that he earned it and he's got to clutch up with it, you
Yeah,
know?
it's
Uh,
way more flashy than just bare bones COD.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure people would say, "Well, dude, it doesn't take that much skill with the Tempest. Like, it's nowhere near as impressive as Shotzi's thing." And that may be true.
Yeah.
But I love that random element that comes in there. I mean,
Hmm.
man, at the end of the day, I just wish specialists came back to Call of Duty. I
Hmm.
hate that they were only around for such a short time. Like,
Hmm.
it was really only like what a jetpack era thing,
It
that
was,
they or wait,
yeah,
what Black Ops 3, IW, and BO4, right?
yeah,
But IW had, like, another kind of version of it. I
yeah.
don't know if they called them
Uh,
specialists.
yeah, they're like operators. I think they're called operators
That was the year we
or
missed.
whatever.
So
Yeah, I mean,
I
the year
totally
that,
forget.
yeah. But if they added specialists again, or just a special weapon where you had to earn it, then it would be different. It would, it's fair play at that point because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not random. Like you have to earn this, and if you earn it, you get rewarded.
Yeah. I mean, man, can you think about if in Black Ops 7, in competitive or just, man, in general, like, kinetic armor returned?
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
glitch came back. Like, man, those operators for specialists were so cool. And
Hmm.
again, glitch was one like I never used that because I was so trash with it.
Hmm.
But when I watch a bunch of plays that happened by pros, I was like, man, I wish I was that good with glitch,
Hmm.
like being able to pull it off because that's one of those things. If you're in a 1v1, your teammates should be calling out to be like, yo, he has glitch. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
get it because if you get into a gunfight, he's going to pull this off. And that's where for us, it's like it makes it so much more exciting to watch because you have
Hmm.
no idea what's going to happen, you
Yeah.
know? And then you clutch up and it's like you're on ESPN highlights because you just got shit on,
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
exactly. Now
Which would
it's
be
just
great.
that's why now I think everybody wants to see the flashy plays.
Right.
Like the sitting in hill and like rotating and getting kills at the, you know, anchoring, or getting kills, cutting people off. Those are all the boring stuff that people nowadays will say like they're doing the dirty work, which it is the dirty work, but it's important stuff.
Yeah.
Like getting the cutoffs and stuff like that. But, you know, not everyone can like dolphin dive and get a kill and break people's ankles like through walls and stuff.
Right. I mean, we love to see that, but again, it's the guys who are really just laying back that are doing a lot of the work to win the game, you
Mhm.
know? But I don't know. I just I was getting nostalgic playing World at War, and then it took me down all these other games thinking about like what they could have done because we've talked about it, what they're gonna keep and add into Black Ops 7.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean there's a whole laundry list of stuff that I wish they would add in there.
Mhm.
But there's
Oh,
only so much, of course, they can add into the game.
mhm.
And I don't think they're going to stray too much from what they've had in the past couple of years to what we've said in other episodes, how they're really trying to streamline the whole Call of
Mhm.
Duty franchise, which I don't like.
Mhm.
Um, I don't think we're really going to get that variety of COD like we did back in the day, which if you're a young person playing COD, that really sucks because that was a sick time to be like on your toes every year as to like what you were gonna. Are you gonna be good or are you gonna be dog shit at the game?
Yeah, I mean, I just really hope Treyarch is like, you know what, we're gonna do our own thing. We're gonna take away tax sprint. We're gonna just what I described, like just omni movement, no tax sprint, and a slide.
Right.
I'm fine with that. Or a dive, no slide. I'm cool with that
Yeah.
too. Well, like
Yeah.
whatever
I would hope.
works.
Yeah, if they do just little changes like that, it could be such an improvement on what they already got. I mean, all like that being said, with the CDL, like it's over, like the
Mhm.
season. I enjoyed watching this game. Like,
Yeah.
despite all the stuff that we were saying, like what they could do to make it better, I thought it was still a fun COD to watch.
Mhm.
Because of the Omni movement and seeing those people
The
who could
flashy
use
stuff.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I watch it back a bit,
Mhm.
the grand finals or just this, like, champs weekend, and seeing some of those POVs, it's like you just shake your head, you're like, "Bro, like, I don't get how you can do that." They're just so smooth,
Mhm.
being able to jump out and slide and, like, corner slides and being able to stop, like, perfectly. Um, it is really impressive to watch,
Mhm.
but it just hits different when you watch someone with a specialist, like, changing a game, like,
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
anticipation of that is
Mhm.
sick.
Yeah. Can you imagine Shotzi with like the grappling hook or glitch or with kinetic? Imagine him with kinetic armor with omni movement sliding around like with him with extra health is probably awful. And Scump was a kinetic armor guy, and he was like annoying to kill when he popped it.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that's just game changing doing
Yeah,
that,
just
you
having
know?
extra health.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and especially with those players, like, being
Hmm.
so hard to kill anyway. I was gonna say, like, with Mercules, imagine
Hmm.
him breaking hills like that with kinetic,
Yeah,
like, forget it.
yeah,
Um, in those CODs, I can't remember because I didn't watch a ton back then for pros. They could only have 1 specialist type per player, right? You couldn't stack up multiple
yeah,
people.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
yeah. Everyone was designated. This person is, uh, the grav slam like
Oh, okay,
person.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I was gonna say because I didn't know if there were certain ones that well, there had to have been, right? Certain specialists that you couldn't use. Like, you
yeah,
couldn't
yeah, yeah,
use
yeah, yeah.
War Machine,
No,
you
you
know?
could use War Machine.
Damn, you
Yeah,
could?
yeah. War Machine
Oh,
wasn't there. War
bro, I gotta
Machine.
go watch this back, dude. I
What
didn't
was
watch a lot back then.
Annihilator was in for a bit, and then uh they didn't ban it. It sucked compared to like Tempest and War Machine.
Well, I
Um
remember seeing that clip of Krim with the Annihilator, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like he misses, like, every shot,
Yeah.
and it like, because the hit reg was ridiculous.
Yeah. Uh a lot of stuff was in.
Damn,
Like even active camo was in. Like you could pop
bro.
that and just break it, like throw a smoke, run through.
Yeah.
Active camo.
How the times have changed, bro.
Yeah. Players I mean, I wish all that stuff was in again. Like they don't even use smokes anymore. Which
Yeah.
granted I kind of understand why because they are if it's a one-way smoke for one team, that's just not fair. Um it's fine if you pop a smoke, neither team can see anything and you both run in. Now it's
Right.
just all right, who can find the person first?
Well, I see Zuma talking about that a lot with the smokes and with snipers. He's like, dude, just like put it all in there. Like, forget it.
Mhm.
If someone's good with a sniper, okay,
The
figure
sniper
out,
I get, yeah, like add
figure
that
out
in.
how to play against him. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's just something you're gonna have to figure out.
Mhm.
Um, because man, I didn't watch a ton back during Black Ops 3 and stuff, but thinking that everything was in there,
Mhm.
you know, and again, you could use smokes and snipers in there. Like, yeah, no wonder it was so fun to watch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning when like that optic roster, it was, I mean, fuck, it was Scump, Krim, Tej, Dashy, Karma, and like it was cool because obviously they all had their specialists that they liked. Then obviously through the season it evolved. Like people were like, oh, let's switch operators. I want to be Tempest. I want to use a War Machine or whatever. Like Tej used to use a War Machine, and then it flipped to Scump like using Connect Armor instead. Because
Yeah.
again, more strategy. Like who could put better, you know, the which specialists are better with these combinations of players. And then you play like another team that could use maybe three specialists that are the same as you, but they have a different system of working. And I think
Right.
that's why like Gen G, they're just a random team of like super young rookies that, you know, showed up and made the league because they outsmarted like the pros and they just found, different ways for their specialists to work.
Yeah. Now that's again, that's just another element of like we were talking about before with the routes that you can go down. That's why I'm on that side way more than going back to like a more primitive COD. Like
Hmm.
there's some elements of that I do think should stick. But things like that where it really impacts the game,
Hmm.
um, that is so cool to me because of all the strategy and thought process that actually goes into that. Because there could be, and I'm sure there was, teams that made huge strides just because two players swapped their
Yeah.
specialists.
Yeah,
Being like,
exactly.
it's like, oh, dude, when at the beginning of the year when Scump was, running War Machine, dude, it was like they were trash. But then when he switched to Kinetic because of how he plays, bro, they were like a totally different team
Hmm.
you know? And I love that. It has nothing to do with the stuff now where it's like, oh, you got, 40 attachments for a gun. It's like, bro, all of them are
Yeah.
banned anyway,
Yeah, it
you
doesn't
know?
matter.
And yeah, and none of that really matters at the end of the day, like for how
Hmm.
good these guys are going to be. But stuff like that, when it comes into play regarding strategy,
Hmm.
um,
There's
that's
way more strategy.
yeah,
And like I bet
that's the cool part.
I bet coaches like back then, like they would have so many notes. Like, you play was like you play E United and they like to play this is like the operators or specialists they use. This is how they like to play. But then you match up and then out of nowhere, like a Beezy's using kinetic instead of the war machine.
Right,
Or instead of grapple, like stuff like that. It just throws the other team off because you prep for one way that they're playing, but you actually have to prep for multiple situations.
right, right,
And if some teams like scrim and they, you know, someone's like, oh, I'm gonna pull out active camo, and like they don't know that, it could cost them like a hill or something,
right, right.
So
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, if you wanna go and throw them off the game,
mhm.
yeah, switch up what you normally use, but you use it in practice, so you're like, "Oh, yeah, these guys don't expect us to be doing
Yeah,
this."
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That level of strategy and thought going into, like, competitive, obviously, those make it so fun because there is that, like, random element, but then if you're a total nerd about it, yeah, you get more psyched to be able to know and understand that there is, like, a deeper thought process and strategy going into it.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it was cool. I think also it would help a lot of players nowadays who struggle, like Teach, for example, you
Mhm.
know, I think it would give them a leg up if they have something else that they could be using in the game and be really good at. I think that
Mhm.
would help some of these people's like credibility or their stock going
Mhm.
into future titles. Because now like it is boiled down a bit, like it really just is movement.
Mhm.
And if you're not one of the young crack kids who's
Mhm.
good with the movement, it's hard to kind of keep up, especially if you're
Oh
in that
yeah.
old realm.
Yeah, and that's what HC said that the games haven't changed. Like if you were good at MW 2019 and you were a pro then, you're gonna be a pro still now for the most part. If you're at the top of the top, like
Right.
the games haven't really changed.
Yeah.
Tish was on Optic, like one of the best teams like in the league because, I mean, yeah, and even still, like he's credible, like he's an S&D star,
Yeah.
but these games now really reward you for not doing the work that he did back in the day. Back in the day, he was that like cracked kid, but he outsmarted a bunch of players and did like a lot of the dirty work that won them games. Nowadays, like he's still doing that, but you can get finessed by, some young player because of movement.
Right. Right. And that's where it's becoming a trend where you're seeing a lot of the older players getting the axe.
Mhm.
or like quickly regressing in this new era where there's all the young players who are coming up that are benefiting because of the movement system
Mhm.
and like how that rewards you as a player in the game. And a lot of these other guys are just not like that's not how they've played the game.
Yeah, yeah, and, like, you can even see it in some of the, like, top teams, like FaZe, for example. These guys, they're it's weird. They're more like vets now, Beezy and Simp, because 'cause they've been playing for a while, but they if you watch them on the map, like, they just choose to not rotate a lot because they'll just bang out the front, and they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna win the gunfights."
Yeah.
Like, that's not a strategy that, like, you or I can do, or, like, a lot of other teams will do, because it can cost you the whole game.
Yeah.
But they're like, "No, we're not gonna play for cutoffs or exits. We're just gonna bang the hill."
Yeah,
And, you know?
and they're so good they can do that,
Yeah, exactly. And
you know?
that's just not the common way that most people will play the game, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and again, a lot of like those guys being anomalies because it is weird to think that they are veterans, but they are like the first of that crack generation that came along.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing a lot more of those people coming along. And I think they're gonna like in the next couple of years here, which I'm hoping this is the case. I'm hoping we get a lot more of those people coming in that are really like upping the ceiling for how
Mhm.
good people are. Um because there's always talks about that, and I think I was watching it with Zuma's stream because they just had speaking of Teach, like I mean, there's a whole bunch of roster stuff that happened going into EWC,
Mhm.
and we'll talk about a little bit of it. Um, but like one of them is that Teach is off of Ravens and he signed with Falcons,
Mhm.
and people are like, "Oh, dude, like that team now is just like it makes absolutely no sense. It's complete friendship cheese, like
Mhm.
that team." And same thing with Toronto Ultra, like Beans is off that team.
Mhm.
And that's what people are just calling for on this. They're like, dude, these moves that are being made are not for the sake of skill and like raising the bar for the team. It's really just trying to almost protect some of these players that they're like, oh, dude, they're legends. Like they
Mhm.
need to stay, like they've been here forever.
Yeah, yeah. To an extent, I'll say a little bit. To an extent, I think you can make the argument on both sides. Like
Yeah, I think so too.
the ultra one. I mean, I'm a stats guy. Insight and Kleenex have won like the most tournaments as a duo together, so I don't see why people are calling for Insight's head. You go with the winnings. Beans hasn't won anything with them, so you know, and everybody knew that. Like looking at it, clearly Joe's a better like third guy if if you're not including Insight and Kleenex.
Yeah. Now, I think
So
I think what people do though is they're basing this stuff off of like, very recently, like
oh no,
within
yeah,
like
yeah,
over this
yeah,
season.
yeah.
That's how they view it. They
I,
don't look like how you are, which I do agree. I think it is important to look at the
yeah, yeah.
collective.
I mean, if you're looking at it just recently, like you're just, I don't know, you're not smart.
Right.
Like, yeah, well, just because fuck it, Tom Brady had one shit year, we gotta get rid of this guy, man. Like he sucks. Simp had probably the worst champs like weekend of actually no, he did of his entire career. But that doesn't like make him ass
Right.
at this
Right.
game. He just didn't show up that day. But I will say, yeah, the friendship thing is like people say, "Oh, friendship league." But what I think it is these orgs are like failing the players. Like it is in terms of fairness, like that's fucked what Beans has to go through. Visa issues that he honestly shouldn't even have to deal with. Um, and then they lost Mercules. And then he looks like shit for coming back and not performing as good as Mercules does. And then he gets dropped for Abe going into one of the biggest tournaments, and they've been playing and practicing this whole year. And then they just drop this guy. And then same with the other teams, like at least for Falcons, right? They got rid of Priesta and they're bringing in Tej. Like, I mean, it's a swap. Like Tej, I would say this year, like kind of came back. Like he looked pretty good this year, and then he kind of regressed like towards the end. But um, that team, it's Arcides, him, Pred, and who's their fourth?
Excellent.
Exnid. Yeah, like you got two vets at this point. Um, and that team looked like garbage the entire year. So that I can understand. But then there are a couple other roster changes. Like, why are you making these now? Like going into EWC, these players just straight up get screwed over.
Well, and my thing with all this, it's like, oh, now you care. Like now you want to make these moves to try to all of a sudden get it together when you had all year and
Mm-hmm.
some of those teams like, Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
they made one move and it was a fatal move. And now they're like, okay, we got to go in and try to fix this. And now that team has completely screwed themselves over
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't make the necessary moves to try to improve as a team when they had the chance. And now I think from what I read about it, all their contracts are up and they're like, yeah, screw it. We're going to go somewhere else. And now they're not even going to play in EWC
Oh, they
because
got yeah. They
yeah,
they
because
got
they need to go
disqualified.
in. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got
Because
banned. Well, not banned, but disqualified because like I feel bad for Slasher because he got fucked over. Like he
I
didn't do
know.
anything. Like
I
now
know.
he can't attend. But yeah, like how half of what you're saying was like right. Gwen and Gwen and Tej's contracts expired like at the end of the year, like the CDL year,
Hmm.
and I guess at EWC there's like obviously roster locks and rules. You can only make one change, and the one change was that Carolina did was dropping Rex.
Right.
But then you're forced to make a change when Gwen and Tej their contracts expire. Like, what do you mean? Like, you can't unless you can convince them to re-sign again and then you keep the same roster, which I mean Gwyn is going to
Cloud9.
Cloud9. Why would he re-sign with a team that's playing bad? And same with Tej. And now Slasher's just shit out of luck.
Right. Wait, which for us as slasher fans
Yeah.
is just bullshit because
Yeah, and that
we're
sucks for him.
yeah, it does. But that's what pisses me off about like the org,
Yeah,
and just
exactly.
the
It's
way
the
this
org.
is because they had all year to be trying to figure this out
Mm-hmm.
and make these changes. Like if they knew Gwen and Tej weren't happy, they
Mm-hmm.
should have been trying to make something happen during the time that they could have. It's like now what they were trying like they could have done, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to actually scout and get other players coming in. Or again, if Tej isn't happy and he wants to go somewhere else, like or you're not happy with how he's playing, you got to make moves. But
Mm-hmm.
now, like you're saying, they get down to the last, hour here, the last minute, and their team completely implodes other than Slasher.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one that's left on that team and he got screwed and now he can't play.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, look, what the only reason those guys would want to stick with that team, right, is probably to get dead last. And I don't know if you make anything for dead last at EWC,
You
you know?
make you make money no matter like if you go to EWC, you make money. But
Yeah,
to your point, the only way Gwen and Tej are sticking with Slasher and then whoever their fourth they decide to pick up is if Carolina just throws a bag at them.
have
Like
to.
like just to play for this tournament. And then on top of that, they have like it's just bad business decisions in my like
It is.
bad business moves. Like I don't understand in terms of they're protecting the bottom line of their organization by not extending Gwyn and Tej through the end of EWC. Yes,
Yeah.
I understand that makes sense. Their contract ends at the end of the CDL year, where COD Champs is over. But you
Mhm.
know that EWC is coming up, and like odds are your team's qualifying. And as an org, I'd imagine you want to be represented at the Esports World Cup, so you're going to send your team there. So why is your contract not through like the summer at least or
Right.
through EWC?
Yeah.
Because again, at the end of the day, the only player that got screwed here was Slasher. Like he can't even play now because and maybe he doesn't care, maybe he doesn't want to, but that just sucks because it's forced upon him.
Right.
And I don't he wouldn't be the type of guy to like blame Tej and Gwyn for going to join a team that is probably better than what they had, and they're going to a team where like you're guaranteed money. Like you already made money. Yeah, it's a couple $1,000s, but it's a couple $1,000s for just showing up.
Right.
You
Right.
know, obviously you're gonna go and do it.
Yeah, I think what it boils down to as well is, um, well, before I even say that, yeah, your point about like being bad business, it makes no sense to me because it's not like this is the first year that the EWC has been around. I mean, they had this last year too, so I'm
Yeah.
sure there's certain teams that have this into their contract, as to like how it works regarding roster moves, if
Mhm.
they're able to or unable to. But I actually don't really know how that works because this whole event is really strange since it's not part of the CDL.
Mhm.
But it's like got all the people in the CDL, you
Yeah,
know?
but I'd imagine like as an org that like EWC already has a rule set confirmed that you can only make one roster move, and it's for a roster change before you lock into EWC. How come every other team like understands that?
Oh, no, no,
Yeah,
no,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
Like
that's
rep
no, that's what
the
I'm
champ.
saying too. It's
Yeah.
like, dude, they just like it's not like this is the first year the EWC's been around.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they
And
did this last year, you know.
yeah.
So how did you have this, complete lapse in judgment and
Mhm.
you owned yourself,
Yeah,
so now
like
they're gonna
straight
show up
just
and there's
screwed
gonna be
themselves.
some AM team that jumps in. And I'm like, dude, Slasher should be a total prick and they should drop one of the players on the team
Yeah,
that's
like
coming in and he should take their spot. I'm like,
yeah.
dude, he kind of deserves it.
Mhm.
But yeah, what you're saying, a big thing that it does boil down to as well is money, right? I'm sure those guys would have stayed if they were like, look, we're going to pay you for the event. Like we'll give you, 60K each, 50K each, just to, stick with the team through EWC and you're guaranteed that money
Mhm.
regardless of where you place. Like if you place dead last and you make, 8 grand a piece, whatever, who cares? But you've got that money secured.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm sure you've seen too a little bit of the talks with FaZe and just with money in general.
Mhm.
Like that's a concern right now with some of these teams because how much money are they really willing to spend on these players to keep them?
Mhm.
Which I'm sure people maybe by this point have heard that about FaZe and the speculation of that team not sticking together, which to me is fucking crazy. I
Yeah.
just I cannot see that team splitting up. I think it would be crazy if they decided to split up. To your point about like, yeah, they had a shit year at COD Champs, but bro, they won 2 championships this year. Like, they're
Mm.
not a bad team. They're an
Yeah.
insane team. Um, but if there's going to be someone like a Falcons or another, Saudi group that's going to come in and start throwing money around, would those guys leave for it?
Mhm.
Um, dude, I don't
It's
know.
it's hard because you can go back a couple of years ago, like when episodes ago too. We've said this multiple times. The only way this group breaks up is if personal issues among them, like they just hate each other or money. And at least the way that the CDL is heading right now, right? These guys are all the top players. Obviously, you want to be paid like a top player because, like you said, they've won 2 championships. They didn't win COD Chance, but they won 2 championships for the org. Um, they should be getting paid like as they should. But obviously, we've seen how the CDL is doing and how esports is in general. It's not really a big like revenue booster, like they're not really generating a lot of revenue. So
They've only got 2 sponsors.
they're just burning through money. Like even these orgs, like I'm sure FaZe has a lot of money. I'm sure they're in a lot of debt too because they're public, but
Right.
they're burning through money to keep these players. And it looks good for them, obviously, because you have these players. But at one at what point can you not pay these players like thieves? What thieves did, they couldn't keep that roster, and that happens in regular sports too.
Right.
That like you're gonna have to make really really hard decisions, and then as a player, it's even like harder, I'd imagine, because let's just say Simp and Abizi, like probably one of the greatest duos to ever like play COD. And again, only way they'd break up is money or personal reasons.
Yeah.
And if you're Simp or Abizi and you see how the CDL is doing, yes, you guys are still at the top and you're winning these events and winning money. You're making good money. But you look how the CDL is right now. It's like, dude, there's a chance that not a lot of this money isn't going to keep coming. It's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller every year. They have to make a business decision and a really big life decision. Like, what is good for my life in the next like 5 years or even 10 years, whatever. And if an org comes in, like the Saudis come in and they buy up a couple more spots and they're like, hey, we'll give you like almost $1 million. What? Let's just say that. It's like, do you stay with your duo out of like the respect and you know you're going to win and you guys just work really well off of each other and you know you're going to leave a legacy? Or as people will say, do you sell out and go sign with them and now you're like you've secured, you know, a couple years of your future? And like that was probably, you know, a good business decision for you.
Dude, if they're offering me 7 million, I'm selling out instantly. You kidding
Yeah.
me?
Well, dude, see, well, that's the
Like,
COD isn't, or well, yeah, COD specifically, right? They make a lot of money, but they're not making money where it changes their entire life, like
they're not
regular
making
sports.
like NBA football player level, like
Yeah,
not even
yeah,
close. You know,
Th-
we're talking what high end of these players, probably 450, $500,000 a year, I'd have to
probably,
guess,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. Or
which
even now, it's probably like 300,
right.
and still a lot of money, but it's not like they can just
There's
retire now.
normal people out there who make more money than that, you
Exactly. Yeah,
know,
yeah,
or people like normal people that make close to that, you know,
yeah.
but there's not many normal people who are making like NFL contract money. Like that, those people just the people who make that money are the people who are getting
Exactly. Yeah,
NFL contracts,
yeah.
you know?
You're the top 1% of the world
Yeah.
at that point, and yeah, like yeah, they have whoever you would have to think about that because you have to think about your future at some point. You know, like at least the argument you can make in traditional sports is, yeah, you're chasing that trophy, the ring, obviously, because if you're making like $100 million in like 4 years, all right, do you really care about the extra 20? Like if you went and signed with a bad team,
Right,
you're
right,
making way more, 20 million more, but you're giving up a lot and like possibly a legacy that you could leave behind. Whereas in
right.
COD, like obviously they're chasing that ring. Um, but when it comes to, you know, how selfish like can you be? You know, and I would even say it's like selfish. It's just that you have to think about your future uh,
Yeah.
as these players because Abizi and Simp, they know they're the best of the best. Like, so they should be getting paid like that. And if that opportunity comes, you really have to think about that. Imagine if you're just like a mid player, like you're just mid pack, they're taking that in a heartbeat,
Oh, of course,
in a
of course.
heartbeat.
Yeah.
So what's more
But the
important?
And the thing that adds on to this that's really, like, the interesting thing for me because, again, most people never really thought this would happen, but now this seems to be, like, a serious debate or a serious talk, um, is if one of these organization comes in, they're gonna wanna have a really, really good team off the rip.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't just offer that to Simp. They'd be like, "Hey, Simp. Hey, Beezy. Hey, Draza." Like, they'd
Oh,
ask
they
the whole
buy
team.
yeah, straight up.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just buy them out.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Dude, can we just do you guys all wanna come over here? Like,
Yeah.
your current team," and it's like, "How much we make? You guys want, like, $750,000 a year, $1,000,000 a year? Is that like, for all of you each?"
Mhm.
You know? And that is a real possibility that
That
that can happen. It's just like, oh
yeah.
yeah, it's Atlanta FaZe, but they're now, the Vegas Falcons.
Yeah.
You
And I
know,
mean, that's best case scenario for them as a squad.
of
Obviously. Like
course,
you
yeah,
want
that's
that.
ideally what they
Um
want.
it
Yeah,
looks it looks weird for the fans, but at the end of the day, like you're cheering for those guys, those players. Uh like what I would want personally is obviously I want these teams to just stay together because I'm just a big like legacy person in sports.
yeah.
I want to see that storybook written. And it sucks that these the decisions that the CDL has made and these orgs like running out of money basically to pay these players. It's come down to that. That what's ruining the story
Which
book.
is very sad.
Yeah, because like you don't want that. Like Cell, Simp, and Abizi, at least those three need to be together for their entire lives. Like they are a dynasty. They are like the New England Patriots of like
Right.
Call of Duty. They're just going to keep winning and winning and winning. And the only way they're going to break up is they hate each other or money. Or again,
Yeah,
best case, they just get bought up altogether.
and for the story, I'd rather they have some, like, it sounds so shitty, but I'd rather they have some conflict as to why they split up, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
ways. Like, it would just be so lame when we go back and look at it. It's like, oh, dude, they were on phase. Like,
Hmm.
Cell was on phase since what, Black Ops 4, and
Yeah.
then, well, why did he make this move? It's like, oh, these guys offered him way more money, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like, that's why he switched. It had nothing to do with like, oh, the
Exactly.
team was going downhill and he needed to make a move, and you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that would be more interesting than
Yeah.
just, oh, these guys were paying X amount more. And
Mhm.
then the phase brand, or like in Call of Duty and in general, it's like, what does it really mean anymore? Like, are they gonna get top tier players because they're phase? Like,
Mhm.
or are they like, again, I have no idea what ends up happening to these teams when it comes to the money situation. Like, how much are they struggling? What
Mhm.
can they afford to pay? What can't they afford?
Mhm.
Like, that's
I
where this whole debate is. There's a lot
yeah.
of gray area.
I think like that just opens up a bunch of questions. Like I think if that happens and say like all four of them just leave, and they do something like Thieves did and then sign like a pretty good team, but like what they could afford. Um, People are coming to FaZe because of the brand name because they built the audience, like the culture around there. People
Yeah.
like, but I will say the majority of players now, like they probably want to sign with players like that. Obviously, right? You're playing with them like 24/7. But what attracts people to FaZe is you're playing with Simp, Beezy, and Cell. Like they hold the key and the power. Um, and if they move over to Falcons, I mean, if Draza goes too, like they're all going to go together. Like why wouldn't they go together? Um, and for whatever reason, a team is like, we only want Simp and Abizi. I am sure that Cell at the end of the day will be like, look, if you guys are getting offered like a couple mil for a year, yeah, I would do that too. And completely understand. But that's
Right.
when it sucks because this happened with like in golf. Like they created in PGA, they created like a whole nother like Saudi league because they're just blowing millions and like millions of dollars into it. And they're picking up like the best of the best PGA players. And that's when people are like, wait, you're selling out. Because
Right.
now you're not playing for the league anymore. You're playing for a different league.
Soccer's the same thing. Like, our buddy
Yeah,
was he's telling about Ronaldo. Like, he re-signed to
exactly.
this
Yeah,
Saudi org for, like, I think it's like probably somewhere nine figures,
yeah.
8, 9 figures. Like, it's crazy. And it's like, of course, that's why, like, that's a huge reason why he's going over there
Hmm.
too. You know, of course, he has his belief in the team and everything, and they've got
Yeah.
to have that. Like you're saying, Thieves ended up doing that when they believed in that team, and it was a good team.
Hmm.
But I think to your point before about how players just want to be playing with good people, like, of course. Um, I think that the only brands that really matter or worthwhile to play for, like, in the sense of, oh, it's a good move because of the brand, it's FaZe, Thieves, and Optic.
Yeah.
Like, those are the
Yeah.
only ones that really have that asterisk next to them
Mhm.
where you would wanna think about that.
Yeah.
Because if FaZe ends up being, like, a team that can't, they can't get the best players, um, I still don't think a ton of people would wanna play for that team because of what they can offer outside of just money, you
Exactly.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you join a team like that, I mean, look at Merc. Granted, Optic needed him, but like he joins Optic, dude's already posting YouTube videos and getting more views than like the majority of people. Like,
Right,
and
right,
he doesn't make YouTube videos or
right,
anything. That's a power of like the brand. And obviously there are other orgs that they've tried to do it, but FaZe, Thieves, and Optic, what they have is like they had time. They built this up for so long. They already have a community. Um,
right,
and then you get teams like Boston Breach, who they did a great job of trying to grow community, but they didn't have time on their side.
right,
Like
right,
they just lost funding. They did like that's just what happens. People came in, they wanted quick money, and it didn't happen. Like they didn't trust the process, like FaZe, Optic, and Thieves.
right, and now those teams are reaping the benefits of what they did,
Exactly. Yeah.
years
Yeah.
and years ago,
We need
but
Hex should just
X needs to own
own
everyone.
everything, everything, or just consult everyone. Be like, look, you got to do this.
Right, this is how you start, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs like a college, you
No,
know?
no, literally. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like an esports university to
Yeah.
be able
Yeah.
to run that shit because yeah, it's in interesting times right now for sure.
Mhm.
I mean, like closing out, honestly, like this news with all this stuff going on regarding EWC, there are more changes that like we didn't talk about, or like one really was Diamond Con coming in for Gentlemates.
Mhm.
I think they said they're getting rid of Lins
Yeah. They
off
got
that
rid of
team.
Lins. They got
Yeah, I
rid of
don't
a
know.
fellow too.
Yeah, they got rid of him. Um, Look, I don't think those are gonna make that big of a difference if you tell me, like,
Mhm.
but I mean, we'll see though. I hope to my point earlier, I hope that a lot of these young people who are coming in, Diamond Con, like, yeah, he's been in the league before.
Mhm.
But he's someone that has kind of had a weird past in the CDL. Like he's been
Mhm.
on okay teams and then had bad years. I hope we're starting to see some of these shifts. These teams need to take a fucking chance on
Yeah.
these people and stop using the ones that they think are the safe options.
Yeah.
Um, because man, we said in last episode, my hope with EWC, I want good matches. So I'm glad to see some of these changes being made at the bottom. But yeah, there needs to be some serious risk taking, especially if they're going to be short on cash in the
Mhm.
next couple of years. These top pros that have been there, dude, they're not going to be signing like for a lot less. They don't want to be dealing with that. But if you're 18 years old from
Mhm.
challengers and they're like, hey, we'll give you 60K, you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know?
And yeah, I know with these AMs too. The top AMs are always like every year. Diamond Con has always been a top AM. Like every year, he always gets brought up.
Right.
It's like Vivid, except I would say Vivid is like he's always in the league, and then he gets dropped down to the AMs, and then he's a top AM again. Um, and like Diamond Con's best team was probably like that Cold War year, with the subliners,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
that was his rookie year. And now I'm sure he's gotten even better of
Yeah.
like all the time that he's had. Uh, but yeah, no, it's COD esports is just it's weird now right now because
It is.
so many, the money isn't there, life changing money isn't there, so big decisions could happen. I mean, like, dude, what would happen if a team came in? They're like, we want Simp, Abeezy, Shotzi, and Scrap, millions each.
Yeah, it's a
You
serious.
just blew up three teams, like,
Yeah.
and I would give so much fucking respect and like to any of those players that would be like, nah, like I have to stay for out of respect and like the culture.
Right. Right.
Which
That would be insane.
if any of them, it would probably be Shotzi. I would say Optic though is just like it's like a life changing brand. It's one of those brands that like if you turn on them, you're like you're fucked.
Yeah, and they're a brand too that, like, once you link with them, you're always with them, and you'll always be
Always with
riding that wave, you
exactly, yeah.
know? Like, if you really take advantage of it, the amount of money and success that you can have down the line because of it, could seriously outweigh any other option that you get from some CDL org that, like,
Exactly.
they come in, they're like, "Hey, let's give you $750,000,000,000," but Optic's offering you 180, 200K a year. It's like, well, you gotta think about what Optic can set up for you
Yeah.
down the line that these other orgs maybe can't,
Yeah.
you know?
It's more than just a brand,
Absolutely.
like, way more so. Yeah, I mean, I'm just interested to see, like, if they can pull something off like that. But
Yeah,
EWC will be good. It's coming up at the end of July, and, you know, I'm sure there's gonna be some good competition now, especially with Ravens out and another AM team in, like, there's gonna be shakeup.
for
Uh,
sure.
you know, are FaZe gonna show up? Are Thieves gonna show up? I'm sure they will. They're not gonna, you know, flop out again.
If
Um,
they do, bro, they've got problems.
yeah. And I was watching Shotzi's live stream and he was like after champs, and he was saying that, not gonna lie, chat, I think these just got a little complacent, like after they
Mm,
won, like going in. I was like, oh shit.
I like that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And he was like, clearly we didn't, because we were shit all year.
Right.
I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
It's just funny seeing them acknowledge it, because I mean, they're all like, no, we were so bad. And Shotzi too, you can see how much winning chance meant to him, because in there's a clip of him this year saying like, chat, you know how hard it is, like being at the top of the top and like knowing you are good enough and like you're more than good enough, but you can't win. You can't
right.
win a fucking hard point. What, they went 0-18 or something like that?
It's insane.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
Yeah, it is, and I hope with some of these little roster changes at the bottom there, like I
Mhm.
said, they're not like, earth-shattering news, but I hope for the sake of EWC, it is enough of a shakeup that some of these teams maybe do see a little bit of an increase, or shit, maybe who knows? Maybe Diamond Con is like the next Neptune. He's
Yeah,
took all that
yeah.
time off and he comes back and people are like, "Dude, what in the fuck is this guy? Like, he's unbelievable,"
Mhm.
you know? And now he's in the conversation. Um,
Mhm.
I would love to see stuff like that. I hope it doesn't just boil down to like what we expect. I want to see some shakeups, but
Yeah, yeah. I do too. And
we shall see though.
actual last thing, because I want to show you this, because completely random, but you were helping your buddy like move out like over the weekend, and your
Oh
buddy's like
yes,
super
yes,
huge like card, like Pokemon cards specifically.
yeah,
I know you're not into, you like collectibles, but you're not into just like cards in general.
yeah. I'm not a card
Yeah.
collectible guy.
I love collectibles, and like I love cards, like specifically like more Yu-Gi-Oh cards, because I like Yu-Gi-Oh more, and I had a couple Pokemon cards, whatever, but
Bro, Yu-Gi-Oh is the shit.
yeah, yeah. But like just cards in general, like I just like that, the idea of cards and like
Yeah, yeah,
having
yeah,
them. So when you sent me, it was funny because I didn't buy like Pokemon cards or anything, but I have the CDL cards.
yep.
Um and they came they came out with the 2023 2022 to 2023 packs, and I'm like, okay, I got to buy a box of these. Um
Yeah,
but it's weird because they're so fucking old, because it takes forever for them to like get them printed, obviously.
of
So that's
course. Yeah,
why
of course.
we're in 2025. Like the
Right.
dude. So this was the first year that like Boston was a team. So these were the first ever Boston cards
Oh,
like
so shit. It was
created.
what? It was Tej, Methods, Capsule, and
Um
Nero,
Nero,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I got a box. I mean, I pulled like all the commons of like all
Yeah.
the players, which was cool. But obviously, as a card collector, you're shooting for like the rare ones. And in
Right.
these, it's like the signature cards. Like,
Sure.
and I got one, and I freaked out because I didn't just get a signature card. I got,
Who'd
all
you
right,
get,
ready?
bro?
I got
Hold it up. Damn. You got fucking was it Shotzi,
I
yeah?
got I got Shotzi, and this isn't just a hired guns one. I did research on it. This is the gold one. This is number
Hell yeah.
16 out of 30. Out of
Ooh.
30. Isn't that
Holy shit,
insane?
bro.
I looked it up
Damn.
online.
How
It
much?
sold for $900. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I
You thought
saw that.
about it, didn't
Oh
you?
yeah, yeah. I'm like $900. I know that like
Bro,
that's a lot of money for a card.
bro, knock on wood, say like the dishwasher goes, something
Dude,
like you're like, "Oh man,
this
$900 if I only had it." You're like, "You know what?
I do.
Hey."
This is an asset now.
Yeah. You have to get work done on your car. You're like,
Dude,
"You can take this."
it I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I mean,
Wow,
obviously
that's
it's just
sick.
it's upcharged, obviously, because
Well, yeah.
but to pull a Shotzi is pretty cool. And like
Well,
the
seeing
gold one's the
Shotzi
rare
and
one.
that yeah, seeing that card like that because the ones that I've always seen,
Mhm.
it's always like standard, just like their name and the team,
Oh
not
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
that where it's got like,
Well, these are the ones like you're looking for. Like they're a couple
yeah,
like their signatures of all of them. Like I got him and I got classic.
yeah, that's sick,
Classic was not $900.
bro. Classic was like $9.
I think
Love
it
it.
was like I'm not even kidding. I think it was like $9.
That's insane.
He got
He
sleeved though. He got sleeved. He didn't get put into the hard case, but
Yeah,
he got
dude,
sleeved.
look, man, the card stuff to me is interesting.
Mhm.
Like, it's cool to see the people who are so fanatical about it.
Yeah,
Um, but when I see, like, my friend who had all those cards
yeah,
and everything, dude, the anxiety. I just see all of this stuff, it's all loose
yeah.
and just
Okay,
stacked
well,
up, and he's like, "Oh, dude, like, these aren't worth anything, like, half these ones." He's like,
yeah.
"The ones that are worth stuff, I've got them, like, put away." And I'm just like, "But bro, you need to get rid of all this stuff." Like,
You know, any like card collector though, like would get rid of that. So, that's him. You know what I
yeah, well,
mean?
he's like, "Oh," he's
So,
like, "Well, dude, I wanna catalog it and then, like, sell it." I'm like, "Sell it?" It's like, "For what, bro?"
for that, like
Like,
you legitimately you have to sell 'em, like 300 cards for
oh,
50 bucks, if
yeah,
that.
no,
Like that's how you get rid
exactly.
because they're literally worth nothing. The
Yeah,
commons. I mean, obviously, like I'm not breaking packs and boxes all the time like him. I'm not
right,
breaking open CDL packs just trying to get these cards. I only bought a
right.
pack just because I was like, oh, these are cool and I like them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was trying to get a signature. But
And dude, you lucked out, bro. You got Shotzi for
yeah,
900.
well, that's like the best part. It's like you get something you want. It's kind of like gambling because you're
Right, right,
probably
right,
going to get shit most of the time.
right.
And you can't use these cards or anything, but um, and then but you get the one card that you really really wanted, and like you get a little high. But obviously, I'm keeping like these CDL. I'm not going to throw these away because they're commons, but they're cool and like technically rare because they're not printing these all the time. You know?
Yeah, CDL cards is different. Like, there's not a ton of them to
Yeah,
begin with, so it's not like it's an insane stack.
yeah,
And yeah, like you said, it's a niche thing. Like it's not
exactly. Yeah.
there's not a ton of them. So it is cool. Even like the ones that are worthless
Let's
are
see if
still kind of cool because they are quote unquote rare, you know.
the commons.
Um
Yeah, yeah.
but
He
yeah,
has a full here. Oh yeah,
the only one or thing that I ever mess with regarding cards is same guy. He's all into it for racing because he gives me. Let's see if I think I have it up here. I don't know if I do. Nah, I don't know if it's there. I have a couple of F1 cards
hmm
um, that are cool, but those they print so many of those, and I don't know what's rare and what's not rare from them.
hmm
But again, they do make like I'm actually, I don't know. They have a whole bunch of different packs as to what they are because they have like legacy ones, I think, and then
yeah,
they've got
yeah,
like
yeah.
teams and drivers and like certain moments. Like it's
hmm
kind of weird, but
But like,
it is cool.
show you
F1
guys this
style.
quick. Like, so the roster that you said for Boston was right, but obviously at the time of when they're making roster change, like when they signed these cards and like made them,
Yeah.
Zinni was not on it. Like
Oh damn.
so that's why I got the cards. I'm like, yo, where's Zinni?
Right.
Like
Right. Right.
a
Right.
common card. So like this is a T. Like you got
Oh
you
yeah.
got
Wow.
Nero, Wake, Vivid. and then Snoopy should be here, but Snoopy, like, they didn't make a regular common Snoopy card. They made a
Right,
rookie Snoopy card because it was his rookie
right.
year.
They have Zed.
Yeah, but like, you know how many like I literally got the entire squad.
That is sick. It's cool to see Scump there too.
Yeah, look at
And the thing
that.
that is
I
cool to
got
me
Illy.
about these is to
Mhm.
see, yeah, see how these teams have changed,
Yeah,
you know? Like that Optic team, dude, it's wild to see Hook on there because Hook was on that team, then off, then on, then off, then on.
yeah,
You know, it's like they just caught him at a rare time that he was there.
yeah. And then these are like the retro cards, like special
Ah,
cards,
okay, yeah. See that? See this? Like for people who are listening to this, probably roll their fucking eyes at me
because
because I know nothing about cards,
yeah,
like in these different sects of what they
mhm,
have. You know, 'cause I
yeah,
was just saying that F1 does that
same
too.
thing. Yeah, yeah. Like so, you can get like two Abizis in a pack, and one's a regular
Right?
common from that pack, and then one's like a retro in that
Yeah, yeah,
pack.
yeah.
Which I mean,
It's sick.
I don't think it's enough players to be doing that because like I get it in traditional sports, right? Because you have so many players.
Right, right, right,
In
right.
this, like I don't think you need to be doing that all that much. But
But hey, it
yeah,
is cool to
yeah,
collect
yeah.
though.
I have like three Paul X's, dude. Here,
Dude.
wait.
Yeah, for the people who are on audio right now, if you've made it this far, go switch to the YouTube
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they get to see all these because
I'm
they're cool.
dude,
And you got
dude,
Hixie on
look
Ultra.
at this Illy photo.
Yeah, bro, Jesus Christ.
He's
The
just
Scump one is sick too. Just absolutely yelling.
yeah. Um,
I like the Shotzi one there. He looks locked as fuck. That's cool.
and then yeah. See, I keep getting rare Zeds, dude. I got a platinum Zed.
Yeah, bro, you got a platinum Zed.
And then I got see again platinum retros. And then the cool ones are these are like the retro cards.
Got
Like that,
okay.
there's Zinni.
Yeah. That's really
Um,
cool.
but
I
these
like
are
that.
more like cardboard, like what old baseball cards used to feel like. I don't
Right.
like that feeling.
Mm,
But and then I got John. Imagine John like seeing himself on a card.
yeah.
Uh, uh,
That's insane. That when was
and I got
he in
Scrap.
COD though? He was in
MW2.
Cold War. MW he was in MW2?
Yeah,
John did?
this is 2022 to 23 season. So yeah, MW2 on Legion.
Wow. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Wow.
this is how far back it goes. That's why it's like I wish COD was big enough to where they updated it every year because I for sure would be breaking like packs open if they're updated every year.
Oh yeah, it would be
But
sick. Yeah.
obviously they're not, and it takes a while for them to print. Like we're 2 years ahead.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. So we're gonna have to wait for another year until we get the potential of getting a Snoopy card.
yeah, if they do it again,
If they
that's the
do it
thing.
again, yeah.
But yeah, and then they came out with these like home series cards. These are like actual like lanyards. Like
Oh hell yeah.
this was Scrap. He won MVP at Major 3 in Texas. And this is Priesta. He won MVP Major 1 Grand Finals December 18th, 2022.
Dude, it makes you realize when you see those cards and like me just looking at them too, some of those players and
Yeah.
those rosters, like it doesn't feel like we've been watching that long, but it has been a long time. A
Oh
lot of
yeah.
changes have
Yeah.
happened, you know?
Again, it's
Like,
just being biased, like how much we watch, and like you only
oh
think
yeah,
about that year, and then
yeah,
you just
yeah, yeah.
forget. And then look, I got the Beans rookie card. I got the Kremp rookie card. I got the Vickle rookie card.
Dude.
I got a platinum Shotzi or Dashi. I got a gold Dashi too.
Hell yeah.
I got another platinum retro Dashi. And then I got classic signature, which is honestly very it's funny. His name's Classic. Look at his signature.
Bruh.
Classic. Very, very classic.
Very classic, yeah. So standard. Nothing like not even in cursive or anything
Nope,
fancy. Hell yeah.
just classic. And then I'm just going off, but like, dude, cards from Cold War. Look at General.
Yeah, bro, and seeing Standy, young
Yeah,
Standy on the rocker.
young Standy. Look how many
You know,
octanes I got. I got 3 octanes in a row.
the ones that's probably crazy too is if you had cards from the 2019 season, having Zed and Dens on I think they were both on or Paris, right?
Paris, yeah.
When it's the Paris Legion, I think they
I
were both on there.
I don't even
Same
think
thing, dude, or Kismet too.
yeah. I don't even think they made cards back then. I
Yeah,
think this
damn.
was the first year. Oh,
Wow.
wait. No, wait, hold on. Are these 20? Oh, yeah. No, this is Cold War. Never mind. It's Cold War. Look at I got the set.
Bro,
Look at
you are stacked.
that.
Damn, dude.
Look at
Oh
it
man, I forgot Fellow played on I
on
forgot that he
Empire.
played, yeah, on Empire.
We
Holy
replaced
shit.
Clay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Damn. Damn.
I got the OG Neptune when he was not as good.
Dude, those are sick. I wonder if people listening have those cards too. I don't know
I'm
anybody that's got like a set like that. You know, I know some of our friends who watch it, they have like, you know, a pack here and there, but
yeah.
like having it all
It's
organized and
just
everything is sick to
it's just
see.
look at that. Look at this LA Thieves roster.
Yeah, bro. That was the dark time for them.
Venom.
Slasher, Venom, Hook. Yeah, dude. Jesus Christ.
It's crazy to go back and like see it. Like actually just look through.
Again, you forget how much change has gone on over this time. You
Yeah.
know, people think of Thieves and they're like, "Oh, dude, they're like, you know, a powerhouse team, bro." Back then in Cold War, they were
Mhm.
horrendous.
Yeah.
They like could never figure it out. And some of those, like,
Aqua.
same thing with Sir. Oh, bro, look at that. Yeah,
Aqua.
that's so sick.
Zaptius.
Yeah, yeah. Jesus Christ.
Christina. And then like actual last one. Look, this is crazy. This is look at Insight, Kleenex, and Cammy, and look how different they are. This is Insight's rookie year.
Yeah, bro. They don't even look like the same people. They they look so different. It's not yeah, when you think of back then, like, now they're talking about Insight, you know, being, like a veteran. I mean, because he
That's
is,
them now.
right?
Look at that glow up.
Yeah, yeah, oh, dude, they look 1,000 times better, yeah. Bro, they got glasses and gruesome facial hair and everything changed for them, you know? They, like, started hitting the gym, grow a little facial
Dude.
hair, and they look 1,000 times better. It's hilarious. But Insight, he took, Method's,
Yeah, he took
spot,
Zinni's spot.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Zinni's
yeah.
still got a card though. He's right
And I'll do it because I'll
there.
never forget that when he joined that team, I remember he went and played on Miami Search. I don't know why I remember that map as
Mhm.
one of the maps
Yeah,
in
yeah,
their
yeah.
first series. And bro, he almost like beat the record, the kill
Yeah.
record.
Yeah.
It was like he went like it was like 16 or 18 kills or something like that. He dropped, and everyone was like, "Oh, dude, Methods, it's over.
Mhm.
Like, there's no chance they're gonna put him back on
Yeah,
the
dude. Yeah. And he
team."
stayed
No,
on the bench.
yeah, he
Um,
did.
and then actual last this was the first time, dude. You and I went to Helix Esports. I still have this.
Oh yeah, dude.
This
I
is
have mine.
memorabilia, dude.
Dude,
The
some of
breach
this
might
stuff,
not be around. Like we don't know.
man, there's a lot of old stuff. Hold on, hold that, bro. Just so people know that I ain't full of shit. I still got that, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
This thing is crisp, bro. I have a lot of that stuff. I haven't gotten rid of it.
Yeah.
I have all like under my uh like I have this little like nightstand next to my desk here, or like just a little table. I've got like that. What is it? It's We Want You. Join the collective.
This.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That exact one signed by them and everything. Yeah, dude. You
This.
wait, man. That stuff's gonna be the $900 ticket.
Yeah, literally.
People are gonna, we're gonna be 65 years old, and we're gonna have that, and people are gonna be like, "Dude, you selling?" And I'm like, "It's not for sale."
This is my retirement.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing, like, dude, people can't really see it that well, but I've got, well, you can't see it at all. But off here, I hung up one of my the breach one. It's the one of the watch parties. Yeah, it's signed by who? Zed, Dens, Kremp, Beans. Yeah, Wake signed it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
history,
have
bro.
mine up here too.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like we have a lot of the OG Boston.
But
Uh,
that's so cool to like, I mean, just to have it.
yeah,
It's like it's dope. And we'll end on this going, is I wonder like people I say I wonder if people listening have any of that stuff, because I like seeing online people who post and they're like, "Oh, dude, look at this Gen G jersey that I
Yeah.
have, and it's signed by. I'm like, bro, what the
Mhm.
hell? Like, how do
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
that? You know,
My
like that's
thing
the sickest stuff.
my thing, it's so cool to me, but this is why, like, I appreciate Hex so much. You take care of it. I see
Right?
these jerseys crumpled up and shit, or like, oh my god, I have this rare card and it's not boxed up like this, like
Yeah,
taken care of. Then it's not worth anything. It's cool, but it's not as cool. Like
yeah.
Hex has so much optic memorabilia.
Oh yeah,
Like
back
it's gonna
yeah from
be in an optic museum one day.
yeah from day one he's got all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is dope. But yeah, for the people who made it this far, by the way, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And again, if you're on audio, be sure to go to the YouTube to go check out the last little bit if you're curious about those cards because
Mhm.
they are sick. And let
Hey,
us know
you got
too
any
down in the
offers?
comments about those. Oh yeah, bro. If
900.
you want nine,
Mm.
is that you're setting the price at? You're gonna give them a discount, 750,
Nah, 900 minimum.
900. That's where the
Bid.
bidding starts.
Yeah.
But if you have any collectible stuff too, let us know in the comments because I'd be curious to know what you have, and if you're interested in selling it, please let me know. If the price is right, you know. But yeah, man, I think that's it for this episode. Again, it was kind of all over the place regarding some of the CDL stuff that we were talking about. But we'll go back through it, and I hope you enjoy it. So be sure to answer some of our questions
Mm,
regarding that stuff, especially regarding the phase situation and some of the roster changes that are going on right now. Like, do you think that those are going to be worthwhile changes? Do you think that phase is eventually going to get bought out? I honestly have no idea what to think about that. But the fact that that does seem to be a legitimate conversation is definitely interesting. So
yeah.
I'd like to hear other people's thoughts and opinions on it. And yeah, I think that does it, man.
Yeah.
So again, everybody, this has been episode 230 of the COD Casuals podcast. Be sure to go to anchor.fm/COD Casuals and follow us there on all streaming platforms. Go to Instagram and TikTok. If you don't want to watch the full episode, just go over there. And then, of course, go into our socials, COD Casuals for Twitter. We're tweeting there all the time. So be sure to give us a follow. And on all the platforms, 5 stars.
Mhm.
All right. And I think that's it, bro.
Yeah. Enjoy this long episode. Extra
Yes,
long
I
one.
know we were like, oh, bro, we got to keep this going. And then here we are, almost goddamn 2 hours in.
Yeah.
But again, everybody, thank you for listening to this episode number 230 of the COD Casuals podcast. We're your host, Mike,
I'm Justin.
and we'll see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.